Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I'm out here in my little private spot in my backyard about to take some sun, get a little bit of vitamin D. So as I was setting up my little lounge out here, I was thinking, oh, this would be a nice time to do a video and a different place to do a video. I've never done a video back in my little private spot. Anyhow, I've been back on the YouTube kick of watching a lot of videos. I've been doing a lot of reading recently, and I'm seeking something called balance in this raw food lifestyle. It seems like if you're familiar with a boat, you know how a boat will sometimes, sailboat especially, will sometimes it goes to one side and it overcorrects to the other side, back, back. Whereas what you're trying to do is get it going straight upright and going just how you want it to be. Well, that's kind of how my raw food adventure has been so far. You know, in the beginning, you don't know very much about what you're doing. So, you know, as I've mentioned before, in the beginning, I got ridiculously crackhead skinny. You know, I was about at 6'2", 143 pounds. So then all of a sudden, you know, well, what I did in the beginning you know, I did a long transition that I didn't know was a transition. Basically, I probably could have stopped losing weight when I went raw. I had lost enough in the transition before I could have just like tightened up. But like most people do, you know, your appetite, you can actually get your appetite lower and lower and lower. And I had just, you know, kind of gradually cut it down to where I just wasn't eating all that much. So that was my main problem. I wasn't eating enough food. Okay, then I go back to the States. I visit my mom, you know, and I can even notice myself. You know, wasn't like other people were giving me, but I looked terrible. So all of a sudden I kind of went on this panic mode and I started ingesting what I consider to be too much fats. I don't have a problem with the cooked food, you know, throwing a little steamed potatoes or steamed vegetables in there sometime, but to bulk back up and to gain some of this weight, and especially to do it quick, you know, I was eating a lot of potatoes with a lot of olive oil on there. You know, not limiting, you know, eating as many avocados I wanted. So, you know, and then I went through a period again this past summer, which is the North American summer. We have this different summer down here. But back in June, July, and August, I kind of got off track because of circumstances beyond my control. I didn't go off being vegan. I was just in a place I couldn't eat, you know, the things I had normally been eating. So I got real skinny again, and what did I do again? I went back to the States to heal up a little bit, and I get back into eating the potatoes and the things that I can soak up a lot of olive oil on. I was eating way too much olive oil, so I gained the weight back, got a little soft in the middle. So now I'm kind of like, you know, it got me thinking on, which is the subject for this video today, raw food balance. You know, not having to do these, you know, I don't want to go through these periods where I'm not paying attention or my life gets in the way and I'm not eating enough. And I'm not getting enough good nutrients in my body, and my body weight goes down. I don't have the energy, and then I try to overcompensate with that by just eating anything to bulk back up, which is not, you know. And I'm in a process now as far as the, you know, I've mentioned the oils, like that's my thing, you know, sometimes when I'm trying to get the weight back, I saturate with the oil. I'm not 100% on board yet, and I'm not saying I'm going to cut out oils for good, but I'm looking more into the people that are recommending that oils are not good for you. There's a lot of reputable people out there. Like I say, I'm not swearing off oils altogether. Last week though, my first week cutting them, or severely cutting them, I would say maybe I had 2 tablespoons of olive oil last week. So what I'm looking for now, and you know, I've actually been reaching out, commenting on, looking at videos, reading articles from people that I wasn't previously into. Some of them I wasn't aware of. 80-10-10, that's kind of a good example right there. I just thought they weren't for me from the beginning, and I've never had the desire to read the book until recently, until I started, you know, kind of stumbling across some of the 80-10-10 people. And I still don't believe, I don't see myself, there's just a few things that it's not necessarily I even disagree with, it's just I just don't see doing 80-10-10 fully. Or maybe I do. Maybe I'm doing 80-10-10. I'm just not, following a book or whatever. But there's a lot of good wisdom in that. In fact, I wish I could get it on my iPad right now. Apparently there's not a Kindle version of the 80-10-10, so I'm looking to get an 80-10-10 in print because I do eat a lot of fruit. I'm back on the high fruit. Not high compared to a lot of people out there. I do about 15, 18 bananas a day, maybe a couple of fruit smoothies in there. But I'm definitely raising portion. I'm doing much closer to 80-10-10 right now. The one thing, and I'm assuming, so I don't, you don't like to assume until I've read the book. I don't think 80-10-10 is big on the greens or big on juicing. I understand for caloric reasons that it's not getting. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like to juice. I'm going to always juice, but the juicing portion are not. I don't consider them a large part of the calories of my day. Juicing is just something I do. It's like something on the side. I don't generally replace meals, although I don't have meals. I was going to say I don't replace meals with juice, but I don't have meals. I mean, I'm a single guy. I don't sit down to a table. I pretty much eat all day long. And that's another thing I won't have to look into as much fruit as I have. I feel like I've always got fruit. I mean, I'm just brushing my teeth like mad. But anyway, that's a subject for another day. But right now, I'm trying to put it all in balance. I'm going to have a video because I want to prepare the stuff. I'm going to do a video later this week, early part of next week at the very latest, depending on how this week goes, on my raw food summer program. What I'm doing, almost exactly what I'm doing right now. And there's nothing really extreme in it. I am back to pretty much 100% raw since I'm back in Costa Rica. But let me tell you something. No elitism coming from here. I just spent 2.5 weeks in Alabama, and I see what a lot of you are dealing with up in the States. I mean, I could have done better. I mean, don't get me wrong. At the Walmart I went to, there was, decent amounts of fruit. I did get plenty of bananas while I was there. I lived on almond milk and banana smoothies most of the time. I did have a lot of fairly good greens, good spinach, good arugula. But just in general, it's just tough up there. So I do understand. And as far as like everybody on YouTube is talking about backup plans these days, I can't help but agree. I mean, there's levels of good. Yes, eating fresh fruit, eating organic fresh fruit and produce is the top of the food chain. But if you can't do this, you go down. You can't do this, you go down. You can't do this, you go down. And really, in the end, is it about being able to say some number like I'm 100% blah blah blah? Who cares? Who cares? I'm looking to make this body as healthy and efficient as possible. I don't care about a number put on there. And sometimes it's like you sacrifice just to be able to say, I'm still in the 100% raw food club. But, when you get into some of the really high-fat gourmet foods, and nothing against gourmet food, I just think gourmet food has its place. And I think gourmet food is something that's more of a once in a while, a treat type thing as opposed to a staple of your diet. But can you really honestly say that high-fat, nutty, thick, gourmet raw food is better than steamed broccoli, steamed Brussels sprouts, steamed potatoes? Anyhow, that's just my little 2 cents worth on the whole backup plan substitution type thing. Like I say, for me, it's not even effort. I have no. Well, number one, in my house, I'm not set up for cooking. I have a one little electric 2-burner portable thing, and the last time, I kind of measure I go to the States every 3 months to visit my mom, so I kind of measure things in 3-month chunks. And although I ate some cooked food almost every day that I was in Alabama, the 3 months that I was here in Costa Rica prior to this last visit, I can count on one hand. I think I ate cooked food 4 times in those 3 months. Which, like I say, it's no big deal. It's not like I'm saying, "Oh, look at me," look how raw I am. It's just saying that what a lot of people are saying out there, it's absolutely true. You see this sun shining? It's blazing today. It's going to be 90 degrees. I live in the tropics. I can get fruit all the time, even if it's not organic fruit. I mean, there is no way not to be raw here in Costa Rica. So I am aware, and I'm single, and I'm not a very social guy. So I don't have the challenges that a lot of people do. I'm seeing these things. I'm trying to watch, I'm trying to kind of understand people that are not me. And, it's like there's a lot of people. There's, what, 6 billion people that are not me? However many people in the world except for me. Anyhow, my goal, I'll give you a little preview to that next video I'm talking about. My goal is just to eat a lot, and I mean a lot, of really good, healthy, clean food. A lot of calories, even though I'm not going to count the calories. That's just not me. That's not why I got into doing this lifestyle. That's not why I eat like I eat. I'm not going to get a scale. I'm not going to do it because I don't have, except for letting my weight get a little bit too low sometimes, I'll jack it up a little bit. I'm not going to weighing things. I'm not going to portioning things. I'm not going to looking into calories. I kind of just have that instinct. I know, okay, a banana, it may not, maybe I'm just guesstimating at 100 calories. It may only be 80 or whatever. But I'm getting, I know my ranges. I know I'm close enough. So what I want to do is I want to take in a lot of good, healthy calories. I want to stay plenty hydrated. There's going to be a lot of watermelon juice in there. But in the end, and to wrap this up, it's not really, telling you anything you really shouldn't know already. But, just get a little bit of balance in your life, in your raw food diet, or in whatever diet you're following, whether it's vegan, 100% vegan, 100% raw, you're doing the best you can. Just try to get plenty of variety. Eat as many fruits as your area has, or that you can get that are good quality fruits. And the same with produce. Mix it up. But anyway, that's all it's about, is we're all out there trying to do the best that we can. And I thank you for watching today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. And I'm just going to throw this little tidbit out there too. I'm going to start doing, I used to be in the vacation business down here, so I'm going to start doing some programs down here eventually. It could be this season, it could be next season. I'm not in any hurry. I got a job. I mean, this is just an industry I used to be in. I wouldn't mind doing something. Raw food vacations, yoga vacations. But let me tell you, they're not going to be knockoffs. They're not going to be your... I'm on the internet all the time researching, and I see raw food retreats. I see yoga retreats. There's some great people. I'm not knocking anything anybody does. I'm just saying, there's a lot of the same out there. And I want something like what I'm working on is something for everybody. Maybe that just sounds Pollyanna or too big of a thing, or too big, but yeah, I'm sure eventually, because I have the resources of people down here and the places that I can work with. Might do a proper raw food retreat, in the nice place, really nice accommodations. Yeah, it's going to be expensive because you got nice accommodations and you got to pay for what the level you want. But I'm also planning on doing some raw food vacations, raw food retreats. I don't know what you want to call them, because a lot of them may not be groups, maybe a couple that wants to come down and basically, it might be something as simple as a couple or a person that wants to come down and chill. They don't mind having Spartan accommodations, almost just like a simple, clean little room. And they eat good raw food every day. There's no big set program. You eat good raw food every day, plenty of raw juices, fresh juices, fresh fruit, and you play like I play. We'll go to yoga class. If you want to learn how to surf, you learn how to surf. Stand-up paddle. There's a good mountain over there. We'll mountain bike. We'll run. Wherever your interests lie. But however it ends out, and this isn't going to happen anytime soon, but however this pans out, there is going to be something for everybody. I mean, if I want the budgets to where that struggling college student, if you can afford to go on vacation, in other words, if you can afford to buy a plane ticket to go somewhere on vacation, I want to have an option that's affordable to you. And there's a lot of good people, I still want to hook up with and meet with down here. maybe do some programs not even in my area of Costa Rica. If you've never watched any of their videos, I would strongly suggest watching The Farm of Life, Finca de Vida. Look it up on YouTube, they're there. Anyway, I'm getting into another subject now. Thank you very much for your time. I'm gonna get private here and get some sun, and have a wonderful week. Peace.